Good evening and welcome to Laugh Funky. Tonight we have Rose Carleo. Good new album out. Exciting. I've been
New
listening to it.
album out, Sean. Yeah, really excited. Thank you. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. It's been out a little bit. So let's talk about the reception. Are people digging it? You getting feedback?
Yeah. People are really digging it, which is fantastic. It's always that element of, oh my goodness, I hope they like it. But at the same time, I'm kind of at the stage where it's like, that's okay. If they do, great. If they don't, that's okay as well, Different things resonate with different people.
Well, it's a good rock and roll record, and it really
Thank
shows
you.
you're welcome. You're all seasoned musicians, so it's
Yeah.
not like you're gonna put out anything bad to begin with. It's just about crafting
Oh,
probably a good song. You know what I mean? Because you can hear how tight
thank you.
everybody is. It's not just sloppy
Yeah.
musicianship. It's just
Thank you.
you're welcome. Everyone has their tone, knows their sound. Everyone knows where they're at.
Yeah.
With a band, what's the process of writing a song?
It depends. In this particular record, Mick came up with most of the beginnings of them and some all of it as well. It was a pretty full on year or two for me.
Mhm.
I lost my sister unexpectedly, and
Sorry about
we were
that.
sort of, thank you. We were in the middle of writing and demoing up the songs and recording, and I couldn't function for a little while there with grief and everything. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, Mick kept flying the flag and kept demoing up the songs, and then when I kind of came out for air, I was able to contribute more, which was great. So look, quite often Mick might have a riff or a chord, a chord progression or something,
Mhm.
and then he'll say, "What do you think of this?" And then I'll come up with a melody, and we can both write the lyrics, or sometimes he does, or sometimes I do. Certain songs, like 42 Days, for instance, the title track, I pretty much wrote all that. The first song I wrote after my sister had passed. So that just sort of fell out of me, which was great. So, but look, it's quite collaborative between Mick and I, and then we bring it to the table, and everyone, Mick O'Shea and Bill Curvin put in their little bits, and we just make it
Yep.
our own.
Where are you getting it recorded? Is it place? Is it friends or like a studio you go to? The
Studio,
production's really
yeah,
good.
yeah. Thank you. I'll let them know. Yeah, it's a studio we go to. It's a slightly smaller studio, so we go to a different one to track the drums
Hmm.
because you need a big space for that, as I'm sure you
Yes.
know.
Yep.
And then we go to another studio just to do, well, like, we play everything live, and then
Remember
they
that. Yep.
play everything live, and then we do overdubs or whatever we need to do. Or if I need to redo vocals or things like that, we go to the other studio in a place called Glenmore Park here in Western Sydney. So yeah, that was Alias Music. So no, they did a fantastic job with production, and Mick and David as well, produced it. So really great job.
It sounds consistent all the way through, and it sounds really good. It doesn't sound like you were bouncing around trying to, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. The
It's
magic of
important. Yeah,
technology.
right. Well, I know, but the production, it depends on who's producing it. It also depends on, I mean, the drums are very important, especially to me in rock and roll.
Yeah.
If it's just the drums are flat, it can ruin an album for me, you know? So, I mean, these are really, the albums are really, they're bright. The drums are nice and bright, which
Cool. Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
it holds a nice spot, which is always important to me because then it allows like the bass to hold a frequency and the guitar to hold the frequency, which allows your voice to be there. So nothing's on top of each other.
And nothing's
And
competing, it's just holding its
right,
space. Yeah, yeah,
right.
that's right. Yeah.
So, as opposed to a flat, bad drum or a bad snare, I think that hits a weird spot sometimes with the bass and the guitar, and it kind of
Yeah.
cancels everything out. But not here. So
Thank you.
that was
Yeah.
important for me. It was important for me. Yeah. No, but so at this point in your career, because you were doing last time we talked, you're getting ready to do a little bit of touring too.
Yeah, we still are. Yeah, it's
Okay.
ramped up a bit now. Yeah.
So how is touring for you on for a band like yours? Like, so what is your schedule like right now for touring?
Well, in April we were in Japan, so
Mhm.
we toured Japan, came back and did our big album launch show here in Sydney. Mick and I did some. We're doing a few duo kind of runs, calling the showcase tours. So some territories that we've not played in. So we'll go and play acoustically, but like acoustic guitars, I say to them, don't let that fool you. It's like we've got a band behind us. So
Yeah.
just to give people a bit of a taste of what Rose Carleo Band is, and then
Yep.
it's like, well, if you love that, and thankfully they have, oh, we can't wait to hear the band, so we're going to bring the band back. So Mick and I have been on the road a little bit more. We did a show down at the south of Sydney last night, which was really really good. The whole band,
Mhm.
and we've got a big festival coming up at the end of this month, and then we're touring other territories and stuff later in the year as well. So, but we're definitely looking to expand and maybe do another international stint somewhere as well, which I would just be a dream of mine to do that.
I definitely think that's gonna be the next step for you guys to get out there more, you know.
For sure. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'm putting it out there to the gods and speaking to our people. So yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can do what you can. I mean, I get the feel like I haven't seen you live, but I got a feeling that you're the kind of band you go out because just for the music itself, you're like, that's a good rock and roll album, but you're like, this is a good live band. That's kind of the feeling I get. And
Thank you. Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
we are.
yeah, I don't think, Kat wouldn't be representing somebody who was lame. So,
True. Yeah, true. Look,
she has a good ear. So I have total faith that you guys are a cracking live band, which
thank you.
you're welcome, which can make or break a band on some level. Because if you're a road band,
It's not, yeah, you've got to be energetic, you've got to be live, you've got to be you got to connect, you've got to connect with the audience, you've got to take notice of what they're doing, you've got to read a room, and I have fortunately had a lot of experience reading rooms, with the amount of time I've been doing it as well. So but I think that's just as important as the music, reading the room and connecting with the audience, and really bringing it out on stage.
how big are the territories? I was just talking to somebody about this today too, trying to play in Australia because I've heard think kind of spaced far apart and it's not a good amount. Like it's hard because it's like America, like you want to play in like America and Europe and stuff, and there's some American band I was talking to today who wants to play Australia, but economically, like
Huge difference.
it's
Yeah,
it's hard for
yeah,
both bands actually because it'd be hard for you because you have to get out and get a visa, and then there's reverse taxes the whole way through to play like a place like US.
yeah,
But
right.
then for band, it would still cost the band to get everything over here from the US. But then the territories are so far in between, there'll be less chances to make money. Whereas if you do get in the US for you, there's lots of places to go, but there's expenses extra. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's like a different way of looking at it.
yeah,
Look, a lot of the because we're in Sydney, so the flights on the east coast here, whether it's Queensland or Victoria, Melbourne or
okay,
Tasmania, it's a couple of hour flight, and then you either organise transport and backline and things like that, equipment on the ground. Bring our guitars with us, obviously, and the drummer will bring his cymbals and couple of bits and pieces and stuff. But
right.
if we organise the backline, obviously that's a lot more economical for us too. We're not having to
Mhm.
lug stuff on planes. And then there's, more of the regional cities like out in the country a little bit or whatever where we can drive it, take a couple of cars, take our amps and stuff like that. And, the
Right.
PA will be there ready to set up. So that's a little bit easier too. But either way, there's a lot of travel. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of travel and nowadays a lot of gas. So I mean, gas got a little more expensive for everybody on top
Yeah.
of it. Is it? Do you feel like the work you've done over the past years, like you're at the point now where you're ready, you're so tight, like the band, the audience is there, like you're really hitting the ground running? Like,
I do feel, yeah, look, I do feel that. Well, I mean, you never stop learning or
no, but
never
we
stop,
came out of COVID though, and everybody
as
there's a
in,
gap. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
After
yeah,
COVID,
absolutely, absolutely. And you learn something new every day, every show you do with every audience you do. But yeah, we are champing at the bit, absolutely. Like it's, let's go, let's take off. And
yeah,
you're right, COVID really sort of that was tough, man. That was, I mean, for a lot, everyone it was, I know,
right.
but especially musicians that like play every weekend because I play every weekend as well. I'll do some solo acoustic shows,
Yeah,
down at the local and whatever, and that's what helps fund. We call it our addiction, which is recording, right? So
yeah.
so that the cover gigs help fund the recordings and stuff. So yeah, you're right. It's like I feel it's a new, even though it's a couple of years on now, but it's
Mhm.
still this new energy that we're sort of running with. That we're really just so keen to let's go with it.
Well, the album has that energy, and I'm gonna recommend people to check it out. But when we first talked, you were just coming out of COVID, as most musicians. So I was speaking to a lot of people
Yeah.
maybe a year, two, a couple years, like, but it was still considering it was like the cobwebs because everyone's trying to figure out touring and dates. Everyone's trying to get out at once. So there was like a bottleneck, and then the renting of things. It was really the landscape was yet to be formed. Like who's going to stay out touring? Who's going to go back out there and tour more? Who's going to be like a little bit and be like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. You know,
Yeah.
how much are the clubs are going to charge? Like, yeah, are the people going to come out anymore? You
Yeah,
know,
they do. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
it was unknown at that time though, I think. You
Yeah, yeah,
know.
you're right. You're absolutely right. And people were a bit worried about buying tickets ahead of time. Is it going
Hmm.
to be cancelled? Is there another lockdown? And that really hurt us. It hurt the industry a bit. And we're still seeing that a little bit. People are a little bit scared to commit, but it's definitely taking a turn, and people are getting out there. A lot of the big acts in the States and in Canada and in Europe, they're all on big tours, which is great to see. And a lot of Australian bands are really heading overseas more too, which is great. So it definitely took a bit of time to turn. Absolutely, it did. And I'm just so glad it has. And I just, yeah, never ever want to see that happen ever again. So, as I'm sure I'm talking for everyone, but
Of course, still, but it was definitely, I mean, like this album, the energy coming out of this album is like the energy, like, I don't know, like you've been in COVID already. Like this is the album a lot of people are releasing before, after being so pent up. Like this is your second time. I mean, this is like you're still got the energy past that.
thank you.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
well, a lot of the songs were written, a few of the songs were written during COVID as
okay.
well. Some were, and yeah, so it's a bit of a, I guess, yeah, a bit of a combination of energies. But thank you very much for that. I really appreciate
It just
you.
yeah, it just feels like you guys are not slowing down. Like where some people they came out the gate strong because they had a break, and then same as business as usual. Where it kind
Yeah,
of feels like this is you're not slowing down.
we're still running. Yeah.
You're smarting. Did many clubs get closed down where you were at? Like actually have to close? We had some.
A few, yeah, yeah, a few
Yeah.
did for sure. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
we lost a few there.
yeah, very sad. Yeah. Anyway, I could talk about that all day, but yeah,
No,
it's really
no, I like to
really
acknowledge
unfortunate.
yeah, it is. It really is a shame that there's no way to keep them going.
Yeah,
Um, really, I mean, you need to get like a double package so we can get out more, like overseas. Like some kind of double Australian bill. You know what I mean? To make it worth it for everybody financially. You
yeah. Oh
want
yeah,
another good
don't
rock
worry.
band?
Yeah, we're working on something for sure. Like we're already talking about getting out maybe in 2028. We're
Yeah.
hoping um sort of once I've got something in my head, I'm like, all right, we're doing this. Like, okay, boys, we're going to go to Japan, and they're like, okay. So
I bet you guys do
um,
great in Japan too, probably.
it was so good. It was so good. Great
They love rock and
audiences.
roll and good
They
music, so I
love
mean,
rock and roll and so into it. So that was one of the best things I think we could have done was tour Japan. So yeah, look, we're definitely looking at international touring more. So you'll be the first. You guys will be the first on the. And Canada's definitely on my list.
yeah.
So
I imagine it was Japan actually. They love the guitarists. There's you have a new guitar god in the group now from being in Japan. A lot of fans loving his sound. He's a
yeah,
really good guitar
absolutely.
player. Like,
Yeah, mix.
right?
Yeah, a lot of the young guys, like a lot of younger, a lot were younger. Some were older, some were young, but they were kind of standing
I
like,
feel like
oh my
everyone my age is
goodness.
just younger, just younger. It's just younger.
I know. I should say
Right?
that.
Like you say, like a little bit younger. I'm like, you're all just young.
Me too. No, it's
Yeah,
like our age. Yeah, you're right. Our age
yeah.
or younger. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. A lot of them were like in awe of him and our drummer. Actually, everyone, but especially the guitar thing was just like
He's tight.
whoa.
He has a tight the way he strums and the way he plays his chording. There's something very. It's another guy you can tell he's just worked his years as a live musician and put the time in. You know,
Sure
so
does.
it shows in the songwriting and the playing.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He
I can
sure does.
imagine them not being like, oh my God, this guy's great. It's a rock and roll. You know what I mean? It's kind of got that dirty rock and
Yeah,
roll thing going on.
yeah, he's incredible, and to the point where, well, he's, as you know, he's my husband, so we might
It
be
works
watching a
out.
movie or something, and
Make
it's
sure
not
he
a
hears all these
chance.
compliments.
Yeah, I will. He'll hear it too. And near his seat in the lounge room, um, we've got guitar stand. He's got about three or four guitars.
Yeah.
So if you're having a break, he'll pick up his guitar. Or I'm like, dude, we're watching a movie. Just put the guitar down for a second. So, but that's what he's so good. He's always at it. He's
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant musician.
It's funny you say like that little side thing is I always talk to musicians, right? I'm always like if I'm talking to a guitarist, I'm like, and a singer or whatever, what are your routines? Are you singing every day? Are you singing just for fun? Are you warming up? Do you play guitar? Now, I know some guitarists, right? Legendary guitarists, legendary. Tour's done. They put their guitar down, and I actually someone say, "Yeah, I gotta start practicing it. I don't even calluses on my fingers anymore." And these are like,
Wow.
yeah, I'm like, how can you stop? They're like, oh yeah, I'm like, I just pick it up again. I got to take a little bit of time to warm up. I'm like, warm up, be that awesome. Then there's some
Yeah.
guitar players, even like a CFI, they have I have guitars in my bedroom. Like some people, like I do, a lot of people do have guitars and
No.
play all the time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So there
Yeah,
all
Mick
different
does.
genres. So it's always just interesting to see the process. There's no wrong
Yeah.
process. It's just what is that person's process? What is that band's
Yeah.
process?
Mick plays every day, any chance he gets. So, in between, or we might be watching, the news channel or whatever, and there's a commercial when he's got the guitar in his hand,
It's
doing
probably
self
just better
stuff.
to play guitar over the news anyhow nowadays. Just and turn the news down.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
probably better, yeah, than turn off the news. It's nothing good anymore, right?
very true, very true. So,
What about you? What are you doing for your voice to keep it so strong? Because let's face it, as we get
um,
older, but you're a seasoned singer,
yeah,
so your voice is very strong. How are you
I'm
keeping
very
it that way?
well. I think part of it is I'm very match fit because I do work every weekend pretty much, even if
Hmm.
it's just a solo acoustic gig down the road or whatever. So
Some
I'm
muscle, you got to work it.
constantly
Yeah.
constantly using my voice, hydrating a lot, like lots of water. I know it sounds boring, but
Hmm.
it's so true because
Hmm.
your vocal cords are tissue. And I'm sort of started swimming again, so that's sort of kind of helping
Deep
as
breath.
well. Yeah, but look, rest, sleep, hydration,
Yeah.
and just keeping match fit, I suppose. And look, I don't do traditional big warm ups like a lot of singers do, but because I'm constantly using my voice, so
Hmm.
it's kind of already
Some don't
almost
use
there.
any. So I just am
Sorry.
curious. Some don't use any, I know. They
Yeah,
really just
yeah.
go out there and
I
sing
don't
and
warm up a
scream.
lot.
I don't know how they do that, you know? And
Yeah,
some just
I'm not
yell into
sure.
a towel and some warm up for a month doing the same
Oh
set
no.
before they go out. And I'm saying, but like
Yeah.
it's so the spectrum, just like with guitars, is
So
everywhere.
different. Yeah, yeah. Look, if I like with when we did the album launch, I had to kind of relearn some of like the guitar parts, my guitar
Hmm.
parts and stuff, and go over and make sure I memorize the lyrics and stuff like that. You sort of go over because that's new in the set. But as far as I guess technique and stuff, yeah, that was cool. That was all good.
Now, are you setting up your set though vocally to warm up as you go, or can you come right in at the gates blasting out vocally?
I can kind of come right in, but it just depends. Like it's the first song is normally a smack in the face. We want to sort of
Right.
people to go, "Whoa, what just happened?" So yeah, that can be either vocally or musically.
Right.
And luckily, a lot of our songs are both vocally and musically smack in the face. So it's we all sort of get to come out with a bang. So uh, I will pace myself as well,
Mhm.
so I won't have all the bangers we call them. We won't have all the bangers in the
You don't
first
want to blow
five
your throat out
songs.
at first either, and and people don't realize is in a live situation when you come out, if you come out strong, if the mix isn't right, the sound isn't right, and then you got to mess up your voice for the rest of the show. And then
Yeah,
everyone's like,
pretty
"What's
much.
going on?" And no one understands that. You kind of come out, you're trusting that the mix is good, and you may have done a sound check, but you did to an empty room, and now the room's full, so it's going to sound different again. You
Correct.
know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're on it. You know what's going on for sure. It's
So I mean, it's
very
yeah, you guys, it's a challenge to come out too hard, but you want to come out with a banger because that's what the audience wants.
yeah. And look,
But there's
yeah,
challenges.
yeah. Yeah, and I think if I mean, yeah, like you say, you still do sound check, and if you've communicated with the sound guy, and everything's where you want it. I think you just rely on each other to go. We're going to play as tight as and the best we can, and he'll have it down. So there's a little bit of faith in there too.
Do you have a sound guy you bring with you, or do you trust
Um,
whoever on there?
it's been a little bit hard. Like internationally, we had guys on the ground over there, which were fantastic, by the
That's
way.
good.
But we do have for certain local shows, we have a sound guy,
Yep,
and then when you're touring, interstate or international,
of
it's a
course.
little bit different. But we want to
Well,
get to the stage where we do take our own sound guy everywhere with us.
well, I mean, no, it's I can see the frustration. It's hard. I mean, I go to shows and the singer, the headliner of the act, they get done there selling shirts afterwards, and so it's not about that. It's about the finances. It's just that I know some bands, the first thing they do, the closest, they're like it's sound guy, and they have to do merch, and like they have 15 jobs, but they're also the
Yeah,
sound
yeah,
guy because outside of the band, the sound guy is the next person they want to have, no matter what.
absolutely. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you got that one person, make sure your sound is going to be there. You have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's the last thing you want to worry about. You're up there to perform, right? So it's,
So,
yeah. And I do a lot of the back end stuff for the band too, like organizing and booking and, all that kind of stuff. Then I've got, of course, Kat, helping me. So doing
yeah.
such a great job doing what she does. So it's nice to have that, space to go, okay, now my real job is to perform. I'm going to get into that zone and, get on with it.
Imagine people who just do it. They just do that back in the day, right? They could just go out and sing without
Oh,
all
I
that,
wish.
right? But well, this keeps you grounded. Then you won't be a diva because it keeps you grounded. You know what it's like,
That's true.
right?
Very, very true.
For a band like yours, when you go to different territory, do you do shows where it's just you and then maybe a local coming band, or because you're new to a territory, are
Yeah.
you opening for some local bands to kind of is it a mix? Like how's that work
Yeah,
out for
yeah.
you?
We
I
we
don't.
normally get local bands to come and open for us.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're fantastic and they're great and they're keen and of course it helps them bringing some friends as well if we're not known in the territory or whatever. But it's always a great way to meet new musicians and pick up new fans
Yeah.
and meet new people. So that's generally what happens. We'll get a local band in, one or two, and to open the show and you know show us the ropes.
Because I know you're established, but to me, I don't know enough about your band itself, and I don't know the territories. Like, because I know, like, the band over here can be really established, and they still can, they're big at some levels, and they go somewhere else, and they're the opening
Yeah,
band.
yeah, yeah.
And
Look,
I know that here, like, I know who the bands are. I don't know that with you, though. That's why I'm asking you these kind of questions because, you know,
yeah, yeah. I mean, when we're going on our own sort of tour, I think, yeah, we get bands to open for us. But if we were to tour with someone, a more established band or overseas, yeah, we'd more than likely open for someone. Absolutely, just depending on the situation of it all. Our rhythm section, especially Mick O'Shea and Bill Curvin, they're really well known in Australia. They've played in, had stints in Rose Tattoo, and a really famous Australian band called Dragon and Billy Thorpe and all sorts. So they are actually well known in their own right as well, which is great and obviously helps. And people come out to see them as well. So yeah, slightly. There's sort of three stages, I suppose. When we do our own shows, we open. We don't open. Then we might open for a big act here, and then the warm up. And then internationally, well, then, yeah, it'll probably be the same thing, or do a double headliner with another Aussie band, or
right.
just depending on how it goes.
The thing is, I mean, it's so different. Like when you open or warm up for a more well-known, commercially known band, you know, obviously you got to be at a certain level to even do that. So it's not like it's
Yeah,
a bad thing to open for. And plus, you get a new
abs-
audience. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah, I'm all for that. Yeah,
So for band to put you in front of a huge thing and be like, I need you to get these people warmed up for me, or
yeah.
before I come on, let's get some rock and roll going. That's a good responsibility. That's a lot of trust.
Sure is. Yeah, we've done that plenty for bands in a couple of really big bands here as well. We've done that, and you're right. It's a great way of looking at it. It is a big
Heck yeah.
responsibility and a great responsibility bestowed on you, and you're doing a job.
And
And
if they want you to come back a second time, or they come back around, they're like, yeah, that was great. Like if you're opening a second time for band,
yeah, yeah,
that says a lot.
absolutely, yeah, for sure. And that's yeah. Look, opening for big bands. That's I'll say luckily we're friends with a lot of them too. And it's like, hey, if you guys need anyone, we're your band.
I think it's great. I also think festivals. I don't know what you guys have going on over there. Do you guys have mixed like festivals? I know like
Yep,
Europe
yep,
has
we
a lot
do.
of metal festivals, which I always tell people if I'm doing metal bands, I'm like, that would be the one thing I'd want to do is be on a festival because it's like a
Yep,
whole day long of musicians. I mean, you get so many different types of musicians.
yep.
So to you, what kind of festivals do you have that your band goes into? Because it's a little bit different than European metal.
Well, we've got there's a rock festival. Well, actually, it's not really even rock; it's a music festival. So there's a few different genres. There's a couple of rock bands. We're one of them, and then we're on right before a really big act in Australia called Johnny Diesel or Diesel. His name is. So we're on right before
I've heard
him,
that. I've
which
heard that.
is
I've heard Dragon. I've heard some of these names.
yeah,
Not
yeah. So
totally.
like yeah, so we're opening for Diesel at the festival as such. We're
Wow,
on
that's pretty good.
right before him, yeah, which is like wow, because we're big fans as well. And when the festival organisers asked to book us, we were like, "Well, cool, this is great, so let's do it."
Well, I mean,
So
that's a strong audience. That's strong. It's just a strong audience. So you want to,
yeah,
it's a
yeah, and
compliment
look,
to be put in front of them.
there's lots of metal festivals and things around, and local metal festivals. But a lot of the festivals, I guess, that we're sort of been looking at and on rock festivals or kind of mixed, like just a music festival, but there's a
Yes.
couple of mixed genres. So
I always like the ones when I like in some of the artists I know, like I know like guitarists, they'll say they don't want to do like these guitar fests where it's like just a billion guitar players. They go, I want to be
yeah,
mixed in with something different. I don't want to be, it's better to be the odd one in. it's a rest, it's a break. So I always think if you're a rock band and go like play at a jazz fest, like play something different and be the one
Yeah,
rock band because
yeah,
you would be the one that would stick out, and it would it's a rest from everything else too.
yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. It's a whole totally different perspective, isn't it? And new to some people as well.
Yeah, I mean, it would totally change everything. So it actually puts you even. I also think it sets people up in opposite ours in a better spot because they're like
Yes.
fatigued from a certain sound. I mean, if you do any music you like for 3, 4 hours or a whole day, you're like, okay, I get it. But
Yeah,
also,
you're
there's
right.
a new sound, and you walk by like, hey, what's that? That's totally not what I listen to. Let's check this out. I mean, those are the things I think, and I think, I mean, you guys are on the cusp of it. You know, you guys are really
Yeah.
teetering that next levels where you're at right now. I think.
Thank you. Yeah, no, you're right. And that's a great way to look at it as well.
I mean, you guys are at that point where it's like, you just got to push to that ceiling now. But it's hard. It's hard. I mean, even bands are even a little higher commercially still have the problem touring. I mean, it's just for everybody. You know,
Yeah, it's just that finding that balance, right? It's and the right people behind you, which I believe we have now.
I think that's what you need. I think actually, or maybe a couple well-known Australian bands who do like a tour together. Come tear apart the rest of the world.
Oh, I'm with you.
Bunch of
I'm up for
Aussies,
that.
and just do a package deal so it's affordable for everybody and get out there and tear it
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
You
sounds
know,
good. Let's do it.
right? It sounds easier than it is, but But the point back is the album's strong, and I think it does need to be
Thank
out.
you.
You play it. So, how are you doing the album? Now you have a whole new album with the material. Clearly, you have some old standards. Fans like certain stuff. You mix other in and old, new, and probably covers in. How are we deciding what songs we're going to do with a new album? Because even though it's a new album, not everybody's heard it. Even if you have old time fans, they know certain songs they like to hear, and
Yeah,
people
look,
like
we
to hear the same.
we with the new album, it's kind of cool because it is new for a lot. I mean, a couple of the songs I've heard because we had singles we released last
Hmm.
this year and last year, but some of it's like, well, let's try this one tonight or let's do this one live tonight because they're just up for new stuff. The people that I guess follow us are just open to anything almost, So,
Yep.
so we'll do some songs from the previous EP. We'll throw in one or two maybe classic covers that have influenced us, as a lot of bands do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just depends on the venue, I think, as well. The kind of event it might be or gig it might be, and
Hmm.
then there's always me that kind of messes up the mix a bit because I'm like, no, let's just go to this one or let's throw in this one, and they're like, oh, I'm like, it shouldn't be a surprise for you guys. I do that all the time to them because you got to read the room, right? And you sort of feel,
Yeah. I know a
oh, I
lot of
think
singers
this
that do
is going to
that.
work better. Yeah, so I do that to them all. I did it to them last night. They're like, okay. So
A lot of guys just usually do that, or they'll do like they write the set list right before the show, how they feel, where
yeah,
their head's
yeah,
at. Then they copy it and hand it out to the band. They're like, "What are we doing tonight?" And they just
yeah,
you have
yeah,
to like learn 50 songs, and I will pick the 50 what ones we're doing tonight, how I feel, or how my
yeah,
voice is, or yeah, or how the room is, or what this audience, who we're opening up for. Is it more rock and roll? Is it more? I mean,
yeah.
are you
A lot of
working?
variables. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, look, a lot. For instance, I did the set like the day before. I said this is a guide. So this is what we're playing, and sure enough, I swapped a few things, but that's all good. They're used to it now. So
Well, I think it's good to do it that way when you mix it up. I mean, it's more fun as a fan
yeah,
to do that. I wish more established bands that were like already commercial with well-known albums over the years when you go out. I wish they would just do different songs than you're not expecting. Because if you go to the gigs all the time, it's fun.
yeah, yeah.
Man, it's even that much more fun to hear a song you haven't heard before. Go you.
Yeah, 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 like I say, like with the new album, it's easier to surprise people, right? Because they haven't heard the songs or they've only heard them a couple of times or like, oh, and while I'm talking about the album, on the actual vinyl, which we'll have in a few weeks, there's a different song on the vinyl that's not on the CD or not on the platforms at the moment.
Oh, really?
So that's another point of difference too. Yeah. So which is kind of cool, I reckon.
Well, but yeah, the special cut and being on vinyl. I mean, that's going to be a merch piece that's going to be probably well received after the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hear some of your
It's been,
songs. You got vinyl. People love vinyl. If you're around to sign it, I'm sure it's the whole
absolutely
thing. You know what I mean?
back to
That's
old
going to be
school.
yeah. Vinyl's good. Everyone always wants to have something on vinyl. I think if you're an artist, you want to have a vinyl record.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like it's be my first vinyl, so
Yeah.
from my music, yeah.
Is it so? What are you bringing out now for merch? Just a couple shirts, some CDs from different.
We've got about four types of shirts. We've got caps. We've got stubby holder coolers.
Yep.
Bottle coolers. Um, what else have I got? I've got yeah, we've got vinyl CD, um, tea towels. We've got tea towels. They are
Really?
so popular.
I wonder
Like
if
a tea
that's
towel.
locally. That's why I'm asking you because I mean it's interesting. Like with popular in certain areas, just
Yeah, people are buying tea towels, and a lot of the bigger acts in Australia. I heard the tea towel thing is like a thing. I'm like, all right, I'll get someone to see how it goes. Well, they've been going
yeah.
really well. It's crazy. A lot of people will hang them up too, like a bit of a flag or a banner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can
Um,
see that. Yep.
yeah, but I'm like, no, use it. It's a tea towel. But they're like, oh, we don't want to.
It's
So whatever.
not tea
But yeah,
towel. It's a tiny banner. Yeah.
yeah, that's right, that's right. So what else do we have? We have like bottle openers, just a few little knickknacks as well.
Yeah.
Just, of course, stickers we give out and stuff. So, but people love to take a piece of your home, a piece of merch to
Right. Well,
remember
yeah.
the gig, whether it's a stubby cooler or a CD or a t-shirt, because that's, and we sort of make a point when we go to a lot of gigs and stuff, touring artists or not, we try and buy some merch as well. When we're in
Mhm.
Japan, every venue we played at, I made a point of buying a t-shirt from the venue, just to support
Yeah.
them as well, just to give that back and just to have, stuff when we come home from a metal venue that we played at in Tokyo. It was really cool.
That's awesome. So you were actually gone for an entire month?
Just over 11 days. Yeah. So we did 5 shows. So it was pretty packed.
Wow.
Had a couple of days off here and there, but or in the middle, but no, it was really, really good. But I would definitely love to go for a month and just go right around next time. That would be awesome.
How were the crowds? Were they quiet? Was there like what was it like performing in front of a
It was
different
funny
audience?
when we did sound check and everything, without the people there, obviously. But when we came back in and people were just standing really quietly and having a drink and having a bit of a chat, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder how this will be, And then when we cranked it up, they were into it. They were dancing, they were
Yeah.
jumping, they were applauding, they were. The really cool thing was they were trying to sing along to songs they'd never heard, and I was just like,
Nice.
this is really cool. So, maybe it was a bit hooky for them, which was great. So it was catchy. And I thought, oh,
Yeah.
maybe but just seeing that was a really new
Really
thing,
awesome.
obviously. For me, was yeah, really cool, really, really cool. Very responsive, very receptive, and yeah, very cheering for the band.
Well, I've heard culturally, Asia is very respectful and also
Yes,
awesome and awesome fans with either gifts or this or that. And they're very polite and they're lovers of merch and just just
very
great
loyal.
great great big music fans.
Yeah, and I actually got a message from one of our fans our Japanese fans on Instagram the other week
Uh,
saying, I'm going. They bought a tour T-shirt from us, and a picture of her saying, "I'm going to wear this to the Iron Maiden concert." In a couple of months' time. I'm like, yeah. so,
that's
that was
awesome.
really cute as well.
That's well, I mean, so I'm saying the more places you go, people are gonna you can't
Yeah,
stop you now.
it
Just
all
gotta get
helps.
there. I'm glad we can catch up again. This is
Thank
fun.
you for the catch up. It's been lovely.
I'm glad you can do it. I'm sure it's sorry so early in the morning. People aren't aware we're in two different, almost like two different planets.
I'm in
I'm
the
in the US.
future.
You're in the future. I'm in the US and you're in Australia, so it's kind of a meet in the middle time zone. People 42 days, check out the album. Put the links below when I post this for people to go
Thank
to
you.
your sites and check it out. Okay.
Thanks so
You
much,
ha
Sean. Really lovely to talk to you again.
you have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.